Hello and welcome to the Liberia TV network. We are still here in Lockington today. Basically, we decided to just be around in order to get a citizen view about this 5K and how the GMB government is proceeding. Basically, with regards to appointments that have just been made. So this week we just decided to be in District 15 to get the view of prominent leaders, people who make decisions within the district. So today we are here with one of the key and strategic district leader. Hello and welcome to the Liberia TV network. So can you kind of introduce yourself?
Okay, I'm K. Yoflai B.B. Giddings, a resident of Gawlo Township, specifically District 15, Lockington.
Wow, that sounds so great. A few days ago, we got completed with the inauguration process. How do you actually see, or how do you feel about the JMB appointment with regards to the finance ministry, with regards to his presidential press secretary, with regards to the minister for state and for presidential affairs, and a lot more, and also Madam Sara Belsolow Nyanti, who has just been designated to foreign affairs ministry?
So, post-war Liberia still has lack of issues unaddressed that need to be addressed. From the induction on Monday, the inaugural ceremony can follow. The planners, the event planners, has serious problem with the protocol and that of the former manner the program went. I attended the program according to our string at the gate. But my invitation, in fact, I got to call the security of the protocol officer who trained me 2 guys. But why you did not ask me to display my invitation? And it was said before, casually, they laughed about it, and I passed on. And from that point, I began to figure out that there would have been a problem. The event side, the Capitol building would have been crowded, that is the grounds of the Capitol would have been already crowded, which also culminated into a negative popular relation that declared the inaugural address of the president, His Excellency Joseph Bokai. But that is of the past now. But we will call on the government, to do a thorough and comprehensive investigation of the inaugural activities. Because the embarrassment did not only settle in Liberia. Listen to the BBC airline and other international media, it sent a serious negative signal. The foreign ministry was the one supervising the entire inaugural program. But it made me to reflect the administration of the past regime and how it ended. With the appointment of His Excellency.
So before moving to the appointment, what could be your recommendation? Because you have cataloged 1 or 2 lapses that led to the inauguration not actually moving or proceeding in a positive way. So if you were to recommend to national government for future activities, what could be some of your recommendations?
I said first, the full-scale investigation is required. That's my first recommendation. And based on the investigation, such report could guide the government. You know, in every investigation or at the end of every report, we have lesson learned. lesson learned. And maybe from the lesson learned, we could develop and improve on our event planning activities, which are actually poor. And greater responsibility goes to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So and moving to the appointment of His Excellency Joseph Bokai, it's not a surprise to me. Firstly, understanding who Ambassador Bokai is. Ambassador Bokai served a lot of regime, reaching from the 70s. He worked with people and he monitored other Liberians working in government bureaucracy and the international scene. From the 70s to the 80s to the 90s and up to the 2000s, Bokai has been in government. Definitely, he has his own leadership style. And every regime, he monitors the workings of people who are privileged in public position and do a own swap of those who hold high integrity and professionalism and those of you who just went the usual way of looting government. And I know he has a lot of catalog of many good Liberians who have good intention for the country, many of whom may not even be alive on a book. So to recruit and deploy people in government, he's not scratching a head. He's not seeking assistance. Oh, you think who's suited for the place, who's suited for the place. As you can see, he has interspersed the cabinet with both young people who are highly professional and experienced, as well as other people who are brains that the country depends on. Minister of State, he did not only appear to the Minister of State, besides serving foreign service as ambassador, he also served the foreign ministry before coming to the Minister of State. He ran that ministry with high level integrity and proficiency. So it's not a mistake or its excellency deploying Ambassador Sylvester Gracefully to the Minister of State. I think he will be a help to the people of Liberia.
So what's your take on Madam Sara Belsolow Nyanti, one of the trained and most experienced female that has just been designated? This is a person who is well connected internationally, and there have been numerous of arguments. There have been this conflict that despite her experience and despite her connection that she has with the outside world, but she has some credential issues. So, and currently people, especially Martin Colley, who wrote on his Facebook page that with such, Madam Sara Belsolow Nyanti should not be given said post. What's your take on such?
Madam Sara Belsolow Nyanti stands tall as a Liberian in the international community. You know, it's a blessing that she will even accept an offer to serve her mother's land. You know, when I start following the usual politics, Liberian politics, and rhetoric or personality and love. In the United Nations cycle, and maybe to reflect on other women like Angie Broswana and Liberia, who read the peak of the United Nations, served the General Assembly as president. And then Johnson Saleh, she entered in the international cycle and grew without any push. Dr. Antoinette Sai and many other Liberians like Sara Belsolow Nyanti, who would have pushed her credential, her proficiency, her leadership skill, and since her earning repetition in the international community. Look, we Liberians, we are not more critical investigated as compared to the international community. Becoming a minister or a public servant in this country is as a result of most often political patronage. in the UN cycle is merit-based. For Sara to have even served on a mission that was vetting, a thorough vetting that cut across her education, her experience, her innovation, and impact she made in previous jobs served. Before the current position, the recent position she resigned, she served other mission as special representative.
So my name is Sara and I live here in Logantown.
I recently, immediately after the president inauguration, there was this appointment that was made, the 5-man delegation appointment. Firstly, wherein you have Boyman Kamara as finance minister, and you have Sylvester Bresman as Minister for State and Presidential Affairs, and also Kula Fofana was just recently appointed as Presidential Press Secretary. Would you love to provide your thoughts with regards to either of these names, or probably recent names that also surfaced within the appointment listing?
I think the names are in the right trajectory for now. While it is true that the expectation of the president, Ambassador Joseph Juma Bokai, might be betrayed if any of them refuse to live up to it. I think for now we have to give trust to the process.
So when you are saying you need to give trust to the process, from what dimension are you actually talking about? Because more Liberians are saying that they are yearning for change, and of recent, hierarchies within the United Party came up and said people should manage their expectations. So if you are saying such in this direction, what are you trying to signify to the audience?
So I think the management of expectations for people taking jobs so soon, thinking that they need to be appointed for certain positions, whether they bring you so and you'll not be happy about it, you want what you want. I think those are some of the issues of managing expectations. But no matter what, it was the president's constitutional duty to dismiss and to appoint. Having said that, President Weah, I've thought the sonnet or press release, many of his cabinets started to resign with the thought that it was the president's right to bring new people on board, and because of this, they left their position, and President Bokai is now proceeding to occupy those positions. So the issue of managing expectation again is not about which job you need to occupy, but it's about the Liberian people work. So if you are doing the work, manage your expectation not to go after the money that is placed there for the work. Your salary should be enough. Manage your expectation not to be corrupt, because if you corrupt, we will bring you to book. You're not going to be dismissed, but you'll be prosecuted to the elector. So the issue of managing expectation is not just about employment. It's about how you're going to do the people work and for the satisfaction and the progress of the nation.
So many are saying that Joseph Human Bokai is currently appointing more male as compared to female. And so what would you love to say about such? Because people were saying there's a government of inclusion, and in our setting, female leadership is one of the key things that is actually dangling in our setting, and female have been left behind for decades. So what would you love to say when it comes to female ascendancy in the JMB government?
So the issue of female is a global argument, and that's why when the former president Ellen became president, the entire world celebrated. It's not the argument of Liberia, but let's go back to our grade schools. How many female ran the competition when we wanted to score 90, we wanted to score 100, we wanted to compete with our teachers that were teaching us, even at the university level? How many female ran the competitions at the university level? So everywhere you go, you find out that the females will always want to get at the top. But when you open a room for competition, they will not withstand it. Few of them will stand the competition. For example, again, we went to...
But statistics has proven over the few years that female have been topping when it comes to performance and other things. So what you love to reconcile, sir?
I challenge the statistics. a challenge statistics that female have been performing. If you have one female and more 10 male, and you have a bulk of the performance coming from the males, why will you not think that more female needed to come in the process? But every time you try to drag female in the process, they want the open process. They don't want to face any challenge by anybody in competition. The female will always want, like for example, in the legislature now, they are asking for slots in the legislature. They don't want to go in the district, in the villages to convince the people that we need to campaign, we can make it, we can win too. But they are asking national legislature to apportion slots for them by which they can be represented. So female participation, yes, is necessary, but they don't need the competition. They don't want the competition.
Anyway, there's a very interesting topic. Maybe one of these days we'll try to get there. But let's look at the issue of Sara Belsolow Nyanti. Immediately when her appointment was circulating around the corner and up to the time she was appointed, Martin Colley, who has been one of these SI advocate and also a political analyst, came up with some information that Madam Sara Belsolow Nyanti should not be appointed in said position because she is not qualified, her credentials are fake, and a lot more. But there's an individual who has this kind of wide range of connection at the international scene. Can you provide your thoughts about such?
So, firstly, let me say bravo to Comrade Martin Colley for his far-sightedness, because I follow Martin track record since he started this kind of advocates. There was a day that I said, well, is the guy not getting involved into something that looked like madness? And again, he proved me wrong when the guy who worked at the LBDR resigned from a post because of Martin Colley. When Martin Colley accused lawyers of acquiring fake degrees, universities that are not qualified, they went to the universities and studied with the university, and the university provide degrees when they were not accredited to provide degrees.
So are you simply trying to say that you concur with Martin's thought where that Madam Sara Belsolow Nyanti have fake credentials?
Nyanti proved me wrong. Except Madam Nyanti proved us wrong.
But two nights ago, Martin was invited on Spoon FM, wherein I think many listeners listened, and Martin couldn't actually defend. In fact, there was a counterclaim that I think two of the universities that Madam Belsolow Nyanti graduated from online, these are Ontetek University, and they operate online. But when Martin was called to clarify, he couldn't actually justify according to the moderators that were actually moderating the forum on Spoon. So what would you love to say about that?
So I think I monitored that program. Martin actually did well. Spoon Talk have panelists. They have more than 6-7 panelists, and everyone want to do an interview with you. It's not like where you and I are only here talking.